Hey everyone, Nick from Practically Tactical. Thank you for tuning in. In this video, we're going to be doing a light comparison test of a bunch of lights on the market that you can mount to a firearm. So a couple notes before we jump into this here. First off, this is not a review. This is just a light comparison test to see how the lights perform. To do a review, that's part of the equation. Price, features, reliability, etc. All of those go into review. So this isn't a review, this is just a light comparison test on how lights perform in a couple different tests that we will say. Second of all, this is going to be one of two videos. So this video is going to be just showing the comparison, and that's it. There'll be another much longer video out for those that truly care about low light, breaking down all of the scenarios, taking a look at the comparisons, and then we'll actually talk into a lot of words that are thrown around in the light industry. You know, what are lumens? What's Candela? What is lux? Kelvin scale? How does that matter? Why does that matter? So stay tuned for that video. That's going to be a very in-depth breakdown and actually talking about the science behind all this stuff. Get used to that. That's in the video a lot. So last note that we have here is on the screen as we go through the comparisons, you'll actually see the camera settings up above on the screen here. The reason for that is we need a set standard baseline for comparison versus like right now on my camera, I'm just shooting auto mode. So it picks the autofocus and then it sets the exposure and kind of how the camera thinks it should look. Obviously, we will not be doing that in a low light video because if it picks up the wrong autofocus point, that can change the exposure to then change how the lights perform. Also, in regards to setting the white balance of a camera, so how the colors look, I will be setting that for an inside, like typical house color settings to then see the lights. You'll see a little bit more of how the colors are out of the lights than kind of what you see by the eye. So I just want to get all that out there. So enough talking, let's go ahead and take a look at the lights in this video. First off, the newly released Cloud Defensive REIN. The one of like all the night vision guys are like, we can't use the owl with night vision, we need stuff for night vision. Like, yeah, they hurt everybody. All of us poors are just somehow surviving without night vision. Calm down, it's a joke. The Cloud Defensive REIN is 1400 lumens at 60,000 Candela. Next up is the older brother, we'll say, from Cloud Defensive, the Cloud Defensive Owl. This one comes in at 1250 lumens at 50,000 Candela. Next up is the new guys on the block, Modlite. This one is the Modlite PLHV2, 1350 lumens at 54,000 Candela. Interesting, you can make this work with Surefire parts and stuff, but the new guys on the market, and it's really cool to play with these outside of the classes I've seen them at. So next up is the younger brother, I'm not sure which one, the Modlite OKW. This one comes in at 680 lumens and 69,000 Candela. Interesting. Next up is the Surefire M600DF, almost the opposite numbers of the last one. 1500 lumens, 16,000 Candela. And then lastly, we have the Streamlight PHOTONIC HLX, 1000 lumens at 27.6 thousand Candela. So again, if you're interested, stay tuned for the other video, as that'll be a big in-depth breakdown and actually talking about the science behind these lights and what you need to know to pick the correct light for the correct application that you need the light for. Otherwise, enjoy this comparison test of these lights. Take care. 150 feet to the boat, Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive Owl. $150 feet. Modlite PLHV2. $150 feet. Modlite OKW. 150 feet, Surefire M600DF. 150 feet, Streamlight HLX. 50 feet, Cloud Defensive REIN. 'Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. Streamlight HLX. Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. Streamlight HLX. Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. Streamlight HLX. Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Cloud Defensive REIN. 150 feet, Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. Streamlight HLX. (150 feet, Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive OWL. 150 feet, Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. HLX. Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Streamlight HLX. 200 feet, Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. Streamlight HLX. 200 feet, Cloud Defensive REIN. "200 feet, Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. "200 feet, Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. 200 feet, Streamlight HLX. "250 feet, Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. Streamlight HLX. $250, Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive OWL. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. Streamlight HLX. $25, Cloud Defensive REIN. $25, Cloud Defensive OWL. $25, Modlite PLHV2. $25, Modlite OKW. $25, Surefire M600DF. $25, Streamlight HLX. $50, Cloud Defensive REIN. $50, Cloud Defensive OWL. $50, Modlite PLHV2. $50, Modlite OKW. $50, Surefire M600DF. $50, Streamlight HLX. Cloud Defensive REIN. Cloud Defensive OWL, 30 feet indoors. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. HLX. Outdoors through an entry, 90 feet, cloud defensive rain. Cloud defensive owl. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. Streamlight HLX. Outdoors, 264 feet, cloud defensive rain. Cloud defensive owl. Modlite PLHV2. Modlite OKW. Surefire M600DF. Streamlight HLX.